Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Lisa Renee TV. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Make sure to do so today before you leave. Make sure to thumbs up the video if you do like what you see, and to share on all your social media networking sites that you happen to be on at this time. Hello, and welcome back. It is always good to be back in front of the camera. As you know, it's one of my favorite places to be. All right, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. It is a sunny, nice day in Chicago on September 24th here. So, not too bad. We had some cooler weather earlier. Not today necessarily, but like in the past couple of weeks. But now today, it's pretty mellow for the most part. So hopefully in your neck of the woods, everything is going pretty swell. Okay, so let's jump right into the video. So as you guys know, the verdict for the Breonna Taylor case was released just yesterday. And it looks like it's a bunch of BS, as you probably can tell if you all have not heard the verdict. The verdict has been released. So the charges were wanton endangerment, which is a class D, as in David, class D felony, which is the lowest of 4 classes of felonies in Kentucky law. The maximum for that charge is 5 years, and the minimum is just 1 year. So basically, in a nutshell, that decision means that no one was criminally charged with killing Taylor, who is a 26-year-old black ER tech and aspiring nurse. ER, emergency room tech. Okay. So, Brett Hankinson, he was actually the only officer charged. There were 3 of them, but he was the only one charged, which I found to be totally appalling. And it seems like they were, like the wanton endangerment charge is talking more so about like her neighbor's house and the property damage, like they're, the fact that the neighbors were around, it's endangering their lives, when they started shooting. So that's what that charge is coming from, so it seems. So it's like they were more concerned with them and the property than they are her life, and the fact that her life was stolen, and that's what's like so disgusting about it. You like, this happened, and nobody is seeming to take it seriously. That this guy is getting away with these guys are getting away with this, and it's like all the protesting that everybody's doing in every city across the United States, and like nobody is seeming to get the point, that we're trying to make. So it definitely is appalling. So an attorney for the Taylor family, Ben Crump, he said charges should have been a wanton murder, which carries a sentence of up to 50 years, which I can't agree more. Definitely. I don't understand what happened exactly, because it just seemed like there was a big difference between her case and then the George Floyd case. Like, he was able to get justice. Luckily, I'm so happy that he was able to get justice, him and his family. But it just seemed like there's this striking difference here, this dichotomy going on between the 2 cases, and Malcolm X did say the black woman is the most disrespected woman in the world, basically, and she is. She's disrespected, she's unprotected, unserved, and sometimes by her own people. I think that is what is adding to the problem. It's like if your own man doesn't, guard you and protect you. What I talked about, like in one of my other videos, if you're not being loved on in your own community and respected and upheld, put on a pedestal within your own community, then why do you feel another community is going to look out for you, especially your life? Like, why do you feel like your life would matter to this other community, because it doesn't matter to you and your community. So why do you think that this other foreign community really cares so much about you? You know, so I don't know. I just don't understand, like, why is it happening? Because I know he got his justice. That's great, but she deserves justice just as much as he did. You know, it just it's just confusing to me. You know, I'm like almost at a loss for words. Like, why did this happen? You know, to her. You know, I mean, these when you look at all the facts, this seemed like almost an open and shut case. You like, this was so easy to figure out. Like, these cops that came up, you know, they bust in the door. They had this no knock warrant. She was sleeping, her and her boyfriend. They really had no clue of what was going on. You know, and she's like basically awakened to her death. You know, she's not even, you know, barely awake, not understanding what is happening. You know. And then all of a sudden, you know, shots are ringing off. You know, the neighbors are alarmed. You know, everybody's kind of wondering what is happening. You know, I mean, it was like pretty much A, B, and C. It was 1 + 1 = 2. And this is what you give us. You know, you give us this. And we're supposed to swallow this and say, this is okay. You know, like, no, we're not going for that. So this kind of reminds me of another case, like here in Chicago, of a guy they call the Dreadhead Cowboy. So what he did a couple of days ago was he rode his horse. He has a horse. So he rode his horse all the way on the expressway from 35th Street to 95th Street. So he rode his horse because he was in protest of childhood violence and endangerment, because I don't know if you guys have heard it, but a lot of our children been getting hurt in these different like gang shootings and I guess shootings between, you know, individuals, like whatever discrepancies they're having with each other. The children are being not targeted, because the children are never like the actual target, but they're getting hit, you know, because they're just kind of in the way, in the vicinity. So the children are getting hurt. So yeah, so he rode his horse, and the police really didn't want him to. So of course he was arrested, and he sat in jail for a couple of days. They just released him. He just was talking on the news, just kind of explaining more of like the purpose for why he was doing it. And they were trying to like pin these animal cruelty charges on him because the horse got hurt during the ride. The horse, like the hoof was bleeding, and the horse was just kind of like tired and exhausted. So of course they gave the horse over to animal care to take care of while he was in jail. And then they're on the fence about whether or not they're going to give his horse back to him or not. They want to euthanize the horse, and like that's really horrible. But it just seems like during that time they were more concerned with the horse, and not saying that the horse is not important, but they were just more concerned with the horse and how the horse's condition was than they were little black children. Which, you know, I think they should have been more into what the purpose for, like why he did what he did. You know, like even our mayor was like, well, there's a right way, and she's black, but they were like, oh, okay, she's like, there's a right way to do things, and then there's a wrong way to do things. So she wasn't even really backing him up. So it was just quite a mess, you know. But most people, like most of the citizens and the residents, were on his side. They weren't really thinking about what the mayor was talking about, what, you know, police were talking about, or anybody else. They were like, no, I mean, he's doing this for a good cause. Sometimes you have to be a little bit rebellious, one of the residents was saying, you know, in order to kind of get heard and seen, which, you know, I agree with. You know, all except looting. You know, that's where I draw the line. But, you know, I mean, he rode his horse perhaps too far, you know, because the horse got hurt and exhausted. But I agree with the reason for his methods. I mean, there was a method to the madness, so I was in full agreement of it. I don't think they should have held. They didn't hold him extremely long, but I feel like he should have been out of jail sooner than like today. Finally, they released him after a few days, but I just feel like they shouldn't have held him for so long, and they should have been trying to pin animal cruelty charges on him, like they were looking to pin something on him, and I just thought it was kind of ridiculous, but. In either case, this similar to the Breonna's case, once again, they're never seeing the plight of us. They never see the point. They're always looking to show you in so many ways why your life doesn't matter, basically. You got this horse here. So this horse is more important than this guy, his life, and the children's life, and things of that nature. For Breonna, they're saying property is more important than your life. How disgusting is that? So I think it's just going to take us as a Black community to come together. And we kind of got to be there for each other. We do. We're going to have to be there for each other. I think once you build a strong, solid community base, as far as policing goes, like you will learn how to police your own communities before you have to bring out outside police. But then in her situation, nobody called the police; they just kind of came out. But I'm just saying for future reference, as far as dealing with police matters, like you will learn how to police your own communities. So where nobody gets hurt, nobody gets killed. You don't have to call external police. And you'll have a more healthier community going forward. So that's what I'm thinking that we're going to have to do. Yeah, we're going to have to start working towards that, all of us in every community. Start working on building your community, learn how to plant foods, healthy foods, start eating healthy, living healthy, just looking out for each other, looking out for our children, looking out for our elderly. And some of you all like, well, I already do that, so you're great. But help teach the ones who are not doing that, help get them on the ball, So we got to start making some changes here so that you don't still be in a situation where you find yourself something always happening to you. And then you looking for the world to cry for you because their tears are not going to bring back the people who we lost. They're not going to. You just one short or 2 or 3 short, it's not going to bring back anybody. So it's not going to do anything. So pity and sympathy only take you so far. I'm just saying action moves. Action changes things. So start taking action. And with that, it's a wrap. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely check the more info box below. You'll see information on my latest novel, which is Long Way to Love. So definitely check that out. And you guys just stay safe. Stay safe. Stay in love. Stay enraptured in love and stay close to God. And I will see you guys later. Bye.